to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. What's up, everyone? I'm the Kaiju no Kami from the Toku and Animation News Network here with
Corellica Kane.
And we've got Kaiju no Kami vs. AI, this time featuring
the Space Sheriffs. What in the hell is that look for? Space Sheriffs. Space Sheriff Tokusatsu.
What about Space Sheriffs? What is AI going to tell us that's...
Some of the facts about Space Sheriffs.
Facts.
Facts.
Facts about Space Sheriffs.
Yes. This is not the facts of life, even though I enjoyed that show, even though it was repetitive. This is the facts about Space Sheriff.
Was it as repetitive as being told how they transform every episode?
There is a little repetition and not necessarily getting where they're going, but, well, we shall see.
I meant for facts of life. Is it as repetitious as the Space Sheriff series telling you how they transform every episode?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And it's... Ugh. Okay.
So.
Well, would you like to know the first random fact?
Do I have a choice?
No. Did you know the Space Sheriff franchise is part of the Metal Hero series?
What?
And it's tokusatsu?
No way! That's like, whoa! Okay. But in reality, the origin of Space Sheriff, as we all should know at this point, and I know I hate saying as you should know, but... As you know.
But it really started with Space Sheriff Gavon in 1982, the year you were born.
I know. That may be why it's a really cool franchise, is it knew when to be born.
Oh my god. It was created by Toei and is... No, let me finish the bloody sentence. And is often credited with revolutionizing the tokusatsu genre by introducing a more high-tech sci-fi style with sleek armored suits. What I'm gathering from this, and correct me if it's wrong, is that it helped change the status quo of even like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai.
Probably.
And yes,
I mean, it did make they did start doing Kamen Rider better after we had the Metal Heroes franchise, because Black was the Kamen Rider that came out after Metal Heroes came out, so they did something right.
And as I jokingly started, it is part of the Metal Hero series. It's actually the first sub-franchise of the Metal Hero series. So one thing that it's noting here is that Metal Heroes has multiple sub-franchises. Yep. Which I did not know.
It's broken into 5.
5?
Yep.
Didn't even know there were that many series to be broken into 5.
There's 17 series.
Oh my god.
It's Space Sheriffs, Metallic Hero, Rescue Trilogy, or Rescue Police, Destiny Soldier, and then Robot Hero.
Oh. And the Metal Heroes franchise, which this is a part of, spanned several series from the 80s to 90s. And the Space Sheriff shows set the tone for the subsequent Metal Hero series to feature those armored heroes fighting typically against alien threats.
I'm not telling you they were aliens, but they were aliens.
Now, Gavon is the first Space Sheriff, being the most iconic. Retsu Ichijoji, also known as Space Sheriff Gavon, was played by Kenji Oba, and he was sent to Earth by the Galactic Union Police to defend against Maku Space Crime Organization.
Okay.
And so they're just outlining who the first was. And then it had an innovative transformation sequence. I am going to just stop right here and pause before I continue on the discussion of him versus AI. I need you all to know that it's not innovative if you tell me every goddamn series how he transforms in a split second by taking 5 minutes to show me how he transforms. I understand you need a time killer, but you could have used those extra moments of your time killerness to build up some additional storytelling.
So what you're saying is instead of hunter killer, they should have had time killer?
Yes! But Galvan's transformation, known as Jochaku, transformation command, I guess is what it means, was groundbreaking for its time. So while I complain about it now, back in 1982, it was super amazing. I wonder how long it stayed super amazing before the kids got annoyed with it. He would call a spaceship.
Well, considering they were watching it once a week, probably
yeah,
not
that's
that
true.
much.
Yeah, I didn't get that luxury of once a week.
Yeah, we watched them in bulks.
Mm-hmm. But, which would send his combat suit to him in a split second. Fuck you. That's not true. Shown through a combination
Oh yeah,
of
it's like
practical
0.1
effects.
milliseconds.
Practical effects and video overlays. Now, the Space Sheriff has a trilogy, as you even shared, with Gavan having 2 successors, Space Sheriff Sharivan from 1983, featuring Den Iga, and Space Sheriff Scheider in 1984, which had Dai Sawamura. And so it was kind of interesting that they were just literally one after the other after the other. And they had a famous director who was renowned for his work on the Power Rangers franchise. Literally, that's what it says. This renowned action director, famous for his work on Power Rangers. Let me just make sure I'm highlighting this. On the Power Rangers franchise, has praised and drawn inspiration for its innovative action sequences and practical stunts. Yes, Koichi Sakamoto, who worked on Power Rangers.
He's worked on both, yes.
Well, did he literally work on Power Rangers?
Yes.
In America?
He helped with Power Rangers stuff.
Oh! I feel like an asshole because I'm thinking they're making a mistake for some
No,
time.
he did help out with Power Rangers stuff. I don't remember.
No, I feel like an asshole. Okay, so he legitimately actually worked in America helping with Power Rangers.
As far as I remember.
Okay, I thought they just literally put Power Rangers instead of Super Sentai.
No, I'm pretty sure he did stuff on Power Rangers. Let's see.
Okay, so...
Yeah, Power Rangers Zeo, Turbo, In Space, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, Wild Force, Ninja Storm.
Holy hell, he helped with a lot of Power Rangers.
And then he did Kamen Rider Double, Kamen Rider Forze, Ultraman Ginga S.
So he actually directed in America Power Rangers episodes. That's actually pretty legit.
He, I think he just did... Okay, he was the director in Time Force, Wild Force, and Ninja Storm. I believe he was just the stunt coordinator for the other series.
That is legit, though. I actually didn't know that. Now I feel like an asshole, assuming AI got it wrong. But, and this just shows, once again, how little I know about Power Rangers.
Actually, I think he did Power Rangers before he did stuff for Toei.
Except for the Space Sheriff.
Yeah.
I was like, because that's Toei.
Yeah. I meant he was more notable for his early work in Power Rangers than he was for the earlier...
Really?
Toku stuff.
Oh. I wonder if he knows English really well or something.
I have no idea.
I would assume he'd have to know something.
I think he also did...
so that really is legit. So if you didn't know that, and you're assuming AI got it wrong like I did, this dude actually did a lot of cool stuff for the American Super Sentai
I
stuff.
think the episode of Kira Major where you had red and yellow were running with fighting the goons, and you had the mech battle in the background. Yes. He was the action director, if I recall, for those episodes, or the director of those episodes.
So cool. Okay, yeah, I know him more for Japanese stuff than I do American stuff, because once again, I know nothing about Power Rangers.
You know nothing, Sharika.
I apparently don't. Also, Space Sheriffs is probably one of the few of all of the metal heroes that had a revival in the 21st century, with each of the 3 Space Sheriff series having its own movie. And then it also had a heavy influence, once again, on the future of tokusatsu, particularly in Sentai and Kamen Rider, allowing them to integrate more sci-fi space themes and high-tech armor designs. It has a strong overseas influence. The Space Sheriff series, particularly Gavan, became incredibly popular outside of Japan, including France and in the Philippines. A lot of it is due to their iconic costume design and action sequences that help make it more memorable. And the last of this top 10 about common facts is that it has a strong legacy in video games and media. So the Space Sheriff characters have appeared in several crossover media, including video games like Superhero Generations and Super Sentai vs. Metal Heroes for crossover movies. And Gavan in particular remains one of the most beloved heroes in the tokusatsu world, often reappearing in anniversary specials. Well, because Kenji Oba actually appeared in a Gokaiger.
Yeah, he was in the Gokaiger. And the Gokaiger movie is what led into the Next Generation movies.
Because he actually represented himself as all 3 of the characters he has appeared as in tokusatsu for Toei. Now, here are some little known facts. Now, these are going to probably seem as obvious now when you think of it 40 plus years later, but thinking about Space Sheriffs of when they came out at that time. First, they were the first tokusatsu series in outer space, because the series primarily had that outer space element, paving the way for future sci-fi. They had diverse alien races. Now, let's go with the outer space for the first part. Do you agree with that, knowing with Ultraman?
Well, that's what I'm trying to think of. Well, it depends. Are they talking about for Toei specifically? Because Ultraman had the first one with diverse alien races and outer space stuff. So I'm going to say if they mean for Toei, then yes. If they mean overall, then no.
Well, and I guess based on the list above, I'm thinking they're primarily meaning for Toei. But I do agree, because Ultraman kind of throws a monkey wrench into that.
Yep.
They also have what's called the use of the Shogun concept. And this is where the titular hero is referred to as a Shogun, means general, showcasing a blend of traditional Japanese warrior culture with the futuristic setting, which was an innovative concept at that time, where they blended the traditional shogun, which is S-H-O,
right,
and this is S-H-O-U. They also had a lot of cameos and crossovers, where Gavon made an appearance in Super Sentai shows. He made an appearance
Obviously.
in other Metal Hero shows, well, mainly for Sharaban, things like that, to create that interconnectedness, because they said that was one of the things that was missing previously to that, is you didn't have a lot of interconnectedness between the various franchises from one year to the next.
Well, and that made it good, though, because you didn't need to... Some shows don't need to connect to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how they're trying to connect everything to Sentai anymore. Because Sentai it doesn't make sense to connect Sentai with everything, especially when Sentai doesn't even connect to itself.
Well, yeah.
Because...
Well, think about Turn A Gundam. Completely different franchise in anime, but in the latter part of the series, they tried to connect it with all the other Gundam series. Thankfully, it was fairly subtle, but that made it a little confusing, but a little exciting at the same time.
But, like, trying to figure out how Go-Go Fighter and O-Ranger exist at the exact same time just does not work.
Now, Space Sheriff also has created a cult following, because despite its initial run in the 80s and not being visible for a number of years thereafter, developed a dedicated fan base that still to this day appreciates its humor, action, unique storylines, leading to newer merchandise and fan projects.
Okay.
I didn't know if you knew anything about any potential cult following.
I don't know on that part. I mean, I know it's very popular, but I don't know about cult following.
Now, film adaptations. This one I think we already talked about in the above, but the characters have appeared once again in other films and shows, so I'm not sure that needs to be rediscussed. But they talk about how it demonstrates the enduring popularity of the characters. And then lastly, merchandise and toys.
Merchandise.
The series were accompanied by a wide merchandise, but apparently what they're saying here is that they helped make toys more commonplace for a lot of the Sentai shows.
I want a Dogren the Flamethrower.
No!
Dogren the Flamethrower.
No. But what do you think about these facts, so to speak, of super...
Well, I'm not sure, like, for which one.
For any of them, just in general.
I mean, obviously most of them we already talked about. The toys, yeah, the toys were popular. But I don't know...
Do you think the toys were more popular than the Super Sentai toys at the time?
I don't know.
Okay. So that's all I got for Space Sheriff and some, like, outward perspectives of it. I will say...
I thought there'd be a lot more than that. Like, they'd have more details on the shows.
I was a little surprised, too, that they kept it very high level.
Like, and mostly they talked about Gavin. They didn't really go into...
The other shows, no.
Like, they didn't go into, Sherivan being horror-based and, like, the names of villains being off Poltergeist Poltergeist for Dr. Polter and Geiler. And...
Well, I think the hard part when we're looking at different series is... Well, actually, no, I'm not going to even talk about the series. I think the hard part when you're putting things in the AI... The one thing I'm doing with the AI as I go along with it is I feel like I'm helping to educate it on creating much better searches and lists. Because I see when I
one thing they don't even put in here is that Gavin actually shows up in Power Rangers Beast Morphers. So they did the crossover episode.
They did?
Yep. And I think his name was Sheriff Choku?
Huh.
Yeah, France and Philippines. Yeah, I was expecting more, though, for the whole trilogy, not just mostly Gavin.
Well, one thing I'm noticing, even from this list, and noticing even from movies and things like that, is Gavin appears to be the most popular of the trio.
Well, they don't even mention on it. So they mention Fuma for Scheider, but they never brought up
Sherivan's
Motto for Sherivan.
Yeah.
So that is weird.
So, do you have things that you can teach the AI at this moment?
Well, like I said, there's just...
Well, I think the biggest thing that
They could have also talked about that, about Oba and Watari doing their own stunt work for the majority of the series.
Well...
And that even Watari had to wear his own...
costume.
Wear the costume for many episodes.
Yeah, so he was Sherivan the entire show, not just
because of when what are you talking about in the reunion thing that the
stunt actor got hurt.
Yeah, the suit actor got hurt, so he had to wear the suit for 2-3 episodes,
which was much harder than he anticipated, even though he was a stunt actor.
Now, if I recall, Oba was a suit actor before
becoming an actor. Yeah.
So they could have talked about that in here. Oh yeah, here it says Joe Chaku instead of Cho Chaku. But yeah, so there could have been more in here, especially given what Discotheque has put in their essays that could be used now.
Yeah,
they could have talked about that Sherivan was more horror based and appealed to adults, but scared children away, especially because of Raider.
Raider was awesome.
So Scheider, they had to tone it back down a bit.
So, with that said, we're going to talk about AI versus for Metal Heroes in future videos. Not today.
Well, no, because our next videos are part of Halloween month.
Yes.
So we've got what Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone, probably something on Garo.
Oh, wait. Did I pull up on this?
We've got plenty of time.
Also, I wanted to do... I have a special episode that we're going to do during Halloween month as well. Because I feel that this series really needs to be discussed during Halloween month, since AI forgot about it when they talked about the top 10 common writers. So I actually did a search with AI.
For Kiva?
No. Let's see, what did I call it? Why is Common Rider Blade ignored? And I have 2 pages of info on Kamen Rider Blade from the AI to see if this can help with your frustrations. And why it's never appearing on a top 10 list.
Okay. But, with that said, what facts of the Space Ship Trilogy do you have that we might not have talked about? Let us know in the comments. Click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and anything else YouTube has you clicking in to support us. You can support us on Patreon and Bluesky at Toku Network, Facebook, Instagram, Discord at Kaiju no Kami. The website is creativitybydesign.llc.com. You can buy Kaiju no Kami merchandise at creativitybydesign.llc.com/shop. There's also a link in the description below. And until next time...